Hello, it's Paige Green at Paige Green's Tutoring, and today is the first video in a series of videos looking at solving different types of equations. To start off with in this video, we're just going to focus on solving one-step equations. So first of all, I'm going to go through these two examples here. Now, to solve one-step equations, what we mean by this is that we want to find out what x equals. We're trying to find the missing value here. Now, in order to solve this, I need to get x on its own. But I can't do that at the minute because I've got this plus 4 here. So I'm saying something add 4 gives us 9, but we want to just find out what that something is on its own. So we need to get rid of that 4. Now, to get rid of that 4, I do the opposite to both sides. Now, the opposite of add 4 is to minus 4. So x add 4 take away 4 is just going to leave me with x because 4 take away 4 is just 0. And then on this side, I'm doing 9 take away 4, which leaves me with 5. So x would equal 5. Let's have a look at solving this equation. Again, I just want to find out what x is on its own. But I can't do that at the minute because I've got this minus 7 here. So I want to get rid of my minus 7. To do this, I'm going to do the opposite to both sides. Now, the opposite of taking away 7 is to add 7. So x take away 7 add 7 just leaves me with x, as minus 7 add 7 is 0. And then 14 add 7 is 21. So that's two examples on how to solve one-step equations when you've got an addition and a subtraction that's in the way. Could you have a go at these 4 questions here to practice that skill on your own? Pause the video and press play when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, for this first one, we want x on its own, but we can't because we've got this plus 7. So we need to get rid of it. Now, to get rid of it, we do the opposites on both sides, which leaves us with x equals 21. And as we're doing the opposite, we're getting rid of that thing that we've highlighted. With the next one, we need to get rid of this 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides, leaving me with x equals 19. This next one, we've got x take away 13. So to get rid of it, I need to add 13 to both sides, leaving me with x is 23. And last of all, I've got x plus 15 is 35. So getting rid of that 15 by taking it away from both sides, which leaves me with 20. So you can see how I've done the opposite for all of those. Let's have a look when we've got something that looks a little bit different. Now for this first one, I've got 4x equals 24. Let's have a think about what this means. Now 4x means that I have 4 lots of x. Now if I've got 4 lots of x, another way I can think about that is that I've done x times by 4. So when I want to get rid of this 4 so that I just have x on its own, to get rid of it, the opposite would be to divide by 4, because at the minute we're timesing by 4 and the opposite of timesing is dividing. Now 24 divided by 4 is just 6. Let's see how that works for this one. So again, I've got a 3 in front of the x. Now because I've got 3x, that means 3 lots of x, or x times 3. So to get rid of that 3, I'm going to divide both sides by 3, leaving me with x equals 6. For this next one, I've got x over 7 equals 4. Now that essentially means x divided by 7. So when it's over, it actually just means divided by. So to get rid of the divide by 7, we need to do the opposite. Now the opposite of dividing is timesing. So we're going to times 7 on both sides, which gives me 28. Let's see how that works for this last one. So we've got x over 6 equals 5, so I want to get rid of that 6. So I've just got x on its own. To get rid of it, the opposite is to times by 6 on both sides. So I'm going to get left with x equals 30. Could you now have a go at applying that knowledge into these 4 questions here? So pause the video and have a go. Press play when you're ready to give your answers a mark. Now for this first one, you should have got x equals 4 because you divide both sides by 2 to get rid of that 2. This one here, we want to get rid of the 7, so we've got to divide both sides by 7, which gives us x equals 6. This one, we've got to get rid of this over 3. Now remember, that means divide by 3, so the opposite is to times by 3. On both sides, leaving with x equals 27. And then here again, we've got to get rid of that 9, and it's over 9. So we need to times both sides by 9, leaving me with x equals 45. So hopefully that's given you a good introduction on solving one-step equations. Please feel free to come back to the next video in our series, which will look at solving two-step equations.